Good rising, good rising. It's your boy Try God London. Today I'm going to be talking about how to stay faithful in this oversexed society and why couples are not lasting as much as long as the old days. All right after this. I would love to talk about the fact that we have to survive throughout our days in this oversexed society nowadays. It ties into why our couples are not lasting as long as they should. You got people that is married, that the second they get married, they want to change their whole life. They want to be with one woman or one man. Or the second they get in a relationship, they want to be with one person. And you got people in their inbox. They know they're in a relationship. They know they're married. But you know what people do? People will ask and inquire and still try to get at your girl, get at your man. They try to break up what you have after you just told them that I'm with somebody. No one has respect for a relationship anymore. No one cares about what could happen in your situation if you cross that line with them. No one thinks about the other person but themselves. It's all about, what can I get from you? When can we fuck? It's you got few people that actually stand by, good healthy relationships and not crossing those lines, but at the end of the day, you got a lot of people that don't give a fuck. You got men here that get in a relationship and get in a marriage, and women all in their inbox like, yo, what's up? They want what you gave them, and they want to see if they can conquer what another woman has, and break that up. So it's so wicked and it's so twisted with this whole situation, and couples that are not staying together fall victim of that, because you got so much outside coming in, outside influences coming in. It's crazy. Don't be going through something with your partner and you guys are on very bad terms, or you guys just on the verge of just really calling it quits, and some outside come in. Oh man, see, that's what happens, man. That's what happens. It's so much outside influences, like a situation where you may be with somebody and you guys are going through some things, and another person may make you laugh, or y'all cool, or whatever, and you start attaching yourself with that person because we quite naturally attach to people that we feel more um, welcome to and more relaxed with. And one of the things that can catch somebody, well, a couple of things that can catch somebody's attention is laughing, making them laugh, and sex, attraction. So having outside influences in a relationship is very bad because it definitely can put a wedge between you two. Like you guys, you want to work it out or whatever, but you got this outside voice coming in. The same thing is like you got women out here that's with dudes, and the second something goes wrong, oh, I can give me a new nigga. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to deal with this. I can give me a new nigga. You know what I'm saying? Instead of saying, you know what, fuck a new nigga. I want to make it work with you. You know what I'm saying? You're the only one for me, and we're gonna work this out to the death of us or whatever. And I get that, but you got guys and women like it's everybody's treating everybody expendable. You feel me? Like I can get another woman, I can get another dude. It's nothing. That put insecurities in a relationship. That makes another person feel like if I fuck up, I can be replaced. Which, in all reality, it is true that you can be replaced and you might be replaced. But don't make them feel that way in a relationship, because it makes them feel like they always have to, like, what I'm looking for, they're always walking on eggshells. They don't feel comfortable, and they don't feel like they spot is rightfully theirs. And it's like going to a job. Everybody like your job. Everybody like you at your job. You do a pretty good job. If you get fired or quit, you will and can be replaced. You know that, but do your boss come to you and say, "Hey, don't be late tomorrow. I'm gonna replace you. Hey, don't do that. I'm gonna fire you." You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna fire you. That's gonna be the last time, and I'm gonna have somebody else in here replacing you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you shouldn't do that to nobody to make them like, constantly telling them like, I'm gonna replace you. I'm gonna replace you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you should let it be known, like, yeah, like, if we don't work out, I would say one good solid time, like, yo, if we don't work out, we have to move on. Okay, but going into the details about being with another person, what you're gonna do with the new person, everything else, it puts insecurities in that relationship. Not only that, the outside influences, because some people may be hooping and hollering out at home and fussing and fighting with their wives or with their man, and then someone from the outside can just easily slide in just by making them laugh, grabbing them lunch or anything like that. So the outside influences is so dangerous to a relationship if you let them come in, especially when you're vulnerable in that situation. Some people don't even realize they're doing it. Some people are not purposely doing this. It just happens like that. And you just got to be strong enough and identify something that is happening, the things that is happening in your relationship, and with you being influenced by the outside influence. You know what I'm saying? So you got to get grip of that. You know what I'm saying? If you don't get a grip of that, you're going to be that person that you're going to be with that. You're going to be in that situation where I'm going to like another person outside a relationship, or possibly fall in love with a person that's not even that's outside a relationship, and then you out here cheating. You know what I'm saying? That is another reason why relationships are not prospering like they should and have longevity, is because of cheating, on both ends, male and women. my whole thing about that is it's, you know, some people always point the blame, but the only person fault of cheating is the person that is cheating. You know what I mean? Like, you should be strong enough to identify, like, oh, I shouldn't do that. You know what I mean? Like, some people go in a relationship not even intentionally going, I'm about to cheat or anything like that, but it's just like, you know, they find their weak points and they don't have discipline. It's all about discipline, finding your weak points. You know, it ties into this oversex society that we have. It's like, it's everywhere. It's on social media. Every time you turn around, you log in. You know, as soon you walk out the door, if you live with your wife, if you live with your husband or your girlfriend or your boyfriend, you're home. And most of the time when you're home, you're not really on Facebook. You're not really on Twitter. You're not really doing anything. You know what I mean? So you just kind of like enjoying the time with your kids and your girl or your husband, whatever, and that's it. Okay, but the second you walk outside or you take a shit, the second you outside of that environment of your girl or your man or whatever, yeah, you go to log in and it's right there. You spend a lot more time outside of the house because you're at work. It's in your face at work. It's in your face when you out with your boys. It's in your face when you're out with your girls. It's in your face when you in the bathroom taking a shit. You know what I mean? Like, these are the things it's in your face because you could be pretty lovey-dovey in front of your husband or your wife, you know, face, or your girlfriend or whatever. But the thing is, it's like, you know, when we step out of the door, like, really, it is very, very in our face. It is very prominent, very flamboyant in our face. Like, every time we, you know, log in, and you could try to, you know, delete your friend list and like, I ain't friends with this person, and you know, you find yourself getting off social media. You know, I think that's another story, another episode. I think it's, you know, people should get off social media for a while if they want to kind of get their mind together. You know what I mean? Like, I really think that when you in a relationship, if you don't have a business on social media, get off of it for a little bit of time, both of you guys. If you guys don't have a business, if you guys don't have, you know, I'm trying to start up my business or I'm trying to do this, you know what I'm saying? If you don't have that and it's just personal use, just bullshit around, stuff like that, once you guys just say, you know what, I'm getting off social media for this particular time, or let's get off social media for a while. You know what I mean? Like, and then it gives you time to focus on your lady, focus on your man, focus on the real things in life, because we fall into this fairy tale land, or this I don't know what you would call it, but once we get in social media, like, nothing around us matters. And I think I'm not saying that social media is the reason why our couples are staying together, and social media is the reason why, you know, people are cheating. But it's a tool. It can also bring people together, and it can also separate people. You can meet your wife on Facebook. You can meet your wife on Instagram. You can meet your husband on Instagram. You can meet your husband on Facebook. But you can also lose them on there too. It's how you use it. Also, it's how strong you are. You know? You have to be strong in this world now. Is because it's everywhere. It is so much in your face. I know these guys, and I'm talking to my dudes, like, I know these guys wake up and like, I want to be, and we'll go to sleep at night like, I want to be a good guy. I want to be a good guy. I want to be faithful. I want to focus on my family. I want to do this, and this. And the second they get back on social media And I keep saying social media because a lot of times we don't run into females at a supermarket or a liquor store all the time. It happens, but not as much as you can really tap. I had an old school guy. He said, man, back in the day, he was like, man, y'all got it made. And I was like, what do you mean? He was like, man, back in the day, I would have to pull up on the chick. I would have to campaign. I would have to talk to her, like, you know what I'm saying? And that's if I run into a chick. You feel me? But nowadays, where you have basically a Rolodex in your pocket right now of all women, all bad women, all the women that you always, if you want a light skin, if you want a dark chocolate one, if you want a thick one, if you want a skinny one, all you have to do is straw, and it's right there. And I said, yeah, you right. He was, and I told him, I was like, you know what, and that's grounds for influence, and that's grounds for temptation. You know what I mean? Like, if you have your pick every time, if you can have your pick, and I know a lot of guys are very visual. You know what I'm saying? Very visual. Like, we can look at something like, oh, I like that. And we base off like what we like. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of how we wire. So if we see something that we like, we want to get to know it, see how you is, okay. Because, you know, I mean, it's the same thing with women, but it's not as much. But I feel like dudes will see a bad chick and be like, oh man, I want that. You know what I'm saying? You get it. You see how she is, her mind. You hope that her mind matches her beauty, and then y'all work out. You know what I'm saying? But some cases her mind don't match her beauty, and you just be like, you know what? I'm gonna get whatever I can get out of this situation. Gotta get out of here because I'm not with it. But back to having the choice and pick and choose what woman you want to talk to or get with. It's not like you can get with any woman on Facebook or social media or Twitter. It's not like that, but you have more chances and better chance at it's right there in your face. It's nothing, you know what I'm saying? It's this one don't say nothing, you go to the next one. It's just that easy. You go, you know, it's like back in the day, you had to really put forth of a good mouthpiece to go to a chick and say, yo, boo, boo, boo. If she digging you, she digging you. And you better hope, you know what, not even you better hope. If you looking like, you know what I'm saying, if it's one of those raggedy days, you know what I'm saying, you washing that day, or you just got off work, you don't look GQ, you don't look all good. You better hope that she understanding and be like, yo, maybe this, you know, she's open-minded. She's like, maybe this person is, you know, getting off of work or his laundry day or whatever. So back then, you really had to put your best foot forward. Nowadays, you don't. You just gotta say hi. You just gotta go in them inboxes. You know what I'm saying? And push your luck on these chicks or whatever. And it's that easy. We're getting with somebody so easy, men or women, so easy. It puts in your mind of, you know, people are expendable, and you get in these relationships, and when shit goes wrong, you almost got in your mind like, I can give me another nigga anyway. Especially when you got niggas all up in our inbox. Oh yeah, that, I don't care what woman says, oh yeah, I don't get to me, I'm just, you got some way, it's a little piece of you saying, I can get this guy, I can get this guy. If my guy don't work out, you know what I mean? Like, you have, even though you don't make them look like options, and they may not be options for you, but they're options. Because if you got a job offer here in this state, but you at this state, you have an option. Even though you're not even looking to move there, or you're not interested in that job, you know that if something go down and you get fed up with this job you at or this state you in, you say, you know what, I did get a job offer at this place, and you might just happen to take it. Those are the things, and I hate to compare a job with a human being. It's not the same, but I'm comparing options. Okay, and so people, when people have options, that's kind of how it is. And nowadays people have more options than they ever did, 30, 40 years ago, 50 years ago. You feel me? It's like, you know back then marriage was important. And then that's another thing with why couples are not staying together as long as they used to, is because marriage wasn't idolized and taught to our younger generation, to my generation, to, you know what I mean, like, getting married, it should be one of the goals, you know what I mean, like, getting married and having a family, it's not for everybody. I'm not saying it's just like your life is shit if you're not married. No, because I'm not married. But the thing is, just like, you have to let your son and your daughter know. A lot of females, they kind of got it embedded into them. Like women kind of like have it in their mind, like, I want to have a family. With a kid, with a boy, is different. They kind of like to have their fun. That's why we mature slower than women. But you have to teach your next generation, our next generation, how important it is to have family, how important it is to get married eventually, how important it is to love and treat the person that you love and you with the way they should. Some people have it automatically. Some people need to be enforced into that because, they don't know. You know what I'm saying? They didn't have, their mom and their dad was so wrapped up in bills, where we don't have the time to say, you know what, son, you know what, daughter, you know what, it's okay to get married, and it's okay to love, and it's okay to treat people right. And, you know what I'm saying? Like, treat, you know what I'm saying? Like, love who loves you, and have offspring, and all that stuff like that. We don't cover that. We just cover, make sure you go to school, go, you know what I'm saying, stay in school, and what is it, take care of your responsibilities. So that means if you just only teach me that, which a lot of society, a lot of kids my age and everything was taught, where it was like, okay, make sure you go to school. With the school, make sure you keep a job. Always keep a job. Make sure you take care of responsibility. Always did. I'm not with my kid's mother. You feel me? But I'm still involved with my children, and I still help take care of them. So which means that I take care of my responsibility. You understand? But the thing is, but you didn't tell me. Make sure you try to make it work with your wife. Make sure you try to make it work with your husband. Make sure you love them. Make sure you treat them right. It's okay to get married. You understand? It's okay to be with somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta really teach your kids that stuff, because it's cool to teach them like survival of the world and stuff like that. But being with somebody, having a family, and being married, that's part of it. Being alone is one of the things that like makes people go crazy, and it's definitely, you put a person in solitary confinement, they start to do things, their mind starts to do things. So that those teachings and that belief is not embedded into our children, and that's why it's so easy for people to walk away. It's so easy for people to go get a new person to be with. It's so easy because we don't know the importance of a relationship, or being with someone, or understanding how a person feels. You feel me? Like, it's so selfish. It's just one way so long, and that's what was going on. And then so, with this whole society now, with sex is all in our face, it's like that's what's popping. If we not doing that, then it's not, nobody wants your ass. You feel me? So that's really the main focus. It just seems like that's the main focus on a lot of people. I try not to throw my dudes under the bus, and I don't throw females under the bus, but at the end of the day, I call wrong for wrong. You feel me? Like, so, if you're wrong, you're wrong. That's flat out. You know, whether you're male or female, um, I'm not gonna sit here and act like one gender does things more or anything like that. I'm not gonna do that. I just know that what I come across is a lot of guys are going through this. My advice is to stay to yourself. Worry about your family. Worry about your girl. Worry about your kids. You know what I mean? Worry about your responsibility. You know, like don't put yourself in a situation where it's like, I like this woman. Like let's say for instance someone outside that you may know or whatever. Put yourself in a situation where you might end up, you know, getting with this chick and you in a relationship. You know, or you might you know, fall for this chick. When you're going through something with your spouse, and I've done this too. I was going through something with, you know, I always gotta put my stories in this. I was going through something with somebody, and I was venting to another person, and feelings started to come in. You know what I'm saying? You gotta cut that out. No, can't do this. You know what I'm saying? And then you start to realize, you know, I start to realize like, hey, like, whoa, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm starting to catch feelings because you know, it's like a patient falling in love with their doctor. You know what I'm saying? Or their doctor fall in love with their patient or whatever. You know what I mean? I'm not sure exactly what's that called. Please hit the comment box to tell me what that's called. I don't even want to try to pronounce that syndrome because, you know, I don't want to look like an idiot or sound like an idiot. But with that, it's just like, watch who you talk to, especially with the opposite sex, if you know that's your thing, and watch who you let come into your life, and mind your business, man, and just focus on what you have in your possession now, man. Don't you know? I know is you see these women, oh, she's thick and this, but you know what, man? At the end of the day, man, the grass is not greener on the other side, and I'm the one to tell you that. I'm one to tell you that. You can't sit here and say, oh well, she thicker, she treat me, and that's another thing, man. It's like dudes will this man. I've been in that situation where dudes will be with somebody, y'all going through something, y'all on the verge of breaking up. You know what I'm saying? Damn near separated. Don't talk to each other. So you get you a chick that you you know, you not get you one, but you kind of like run into or friend a female. She start talking the best things. She start telling you all this stuff, and I mean, she look better. She you know, she doing all this stuff, and I know dudes can feel me on this because it happens. It seems like the side chick or the friend chick or whatever you want to call them seems like they look so promising. They look so promising. You understand? They look so promising. They will cook for you. They will throw on stuff sexy for you. They will say all the best things, and everything will lead up. Like, you will be like, dog, why am I over here? So you got guys that will leave they home for this woman, or you got women that will leave their home for this nigga. Okay, so they function. You know what I'm saying? They function together. They get along and everything. Okay, so they thinking like, okay, this the one for me. Okay, they get together and shit ain't the same. Shit ain't the same. It ain't not even close. You know what I mean? And so you sit there and you thinking like, damn, what the fuck I just do? You know what I mean? Like you wonder like, what the fuck did I just do? You know, I just forfeited and I just walked out on my family and everything I had for somebody that I thought was promising, but they really wasn't. Things start switching up, everything. You feel me? And part of the reason why you guys, the first relationship that you was in, didn't work is because you probably didn't put enough effort. You probably didn't listen, and you probably didn't understand her as much as you should. The reason why she wasn't cooking, the reason why she wasn't throwing anything on sexy, the reason why she wasn't saying all the right things. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna, you know what I'm saying? Drop them drawers when you get home. I'm about to, you know what I'm saying? I'm about to go to work. None of that. You didn't get none of that, because the reason why is because y'all was going through so much. It took her off her balance, and probably something happened where she wasn't feeling you. She wasn't feeling it. You understand? So this is why, so dudes kind of like bounce back a little quicker when it comes to certain situations, a little quicker than women. You know what I'm saying? So women fall into their emotions a little bit deeper, and it seems like they hold on to that a little longer. Dudes be like, I'm mad, I'm sad, this, and then like kind of like they get over it. But a woman that needs some reinsurance on a lot of levels to kind of get up out of that, and it do take time. You know what I'm saying? So the reason why she wasn't being that girl that you always loved, that woman that you always loved, is because she just wasn't feeling it, feeling you, feeling the whole situation. Things was really messing with her mind, and that's why. Because I'm sure that when you guys got together, this is what happened. You guys did everything y'all was supposed to do. Everything sounded good. Everything, you know what I'm saying? The same situation with the side chick. You understand? But then you guys got in a relationship, and something traumatic happened, where it just like, yo, I can't do this. Like, let me get my mind together. You know what I'm saying? Or it took them away from you and put them in this limbo state, in this dark space. And I'm sure that if you would have waited around, she would have got out of that dark space. If you would have gave her more reinsurance, she would have got out of that dark space. You guys would have been back again. You know what I'm saying? It just takes time. But a lot of dudes don't have the patience. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be honest. A lot of dudes don't have the patience to go through wait for that. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait for her to get out of it. I'm gonna give her reinsurance. I'm gonna do this, and we think that it needs to be now. Like, I said you was beautiful. I did this. I told you I was only with you. This. We think that tomorrow she gonna be straight. No, bro. It don't work like that with them. It don't work like that. So you gotta take your time. But with dudes, you kind of like, you can butter up a dude real quick, and he be cool. I don't know what it is about us, but we don't. A lot of times we don't hold that shit. We just kind of keep it pushing. Women do, they hold it. So you gotta understand, it's gonna take more time and more effort with them. You know what I'm saying? But once you get them out of that, they be good, they be loyal, they do everything they were supposed to do in this situation. But that's what happens with the side chick too, because you be like, man, we're this, and you notice that, and then you get with them, and it's like it's terrible. You know what I mean? It's like, what the fuck did I just do? I was better off over there. You know what I mean? At least I don't have to go through this. You feel me? So that's the part of part of the reason why a lot of couples are not lasting, is because not putting enough time and not understanding and really understanding where they're coming from, and letting outside influences kick in. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is the biggest thing. Like, everybody feel like their spot is being threatened. You know what I mean? Like I said, you can make it known, like, yeah, if we didn't work out, I'd be sad, but I have to move on. But put it in that form, in the sincerity form, instead of saying, oh, well, if you don't work out, I'll give me a new bitch. Or if you don't work out, I'll give me a new nigga. You feel me? So, excuse me. That's a few of the challenging problems that happens in these relationships, and that's why they're not lasting as long as they're supposed to. You know what I mean? Like, we're not teaching our generation how important it is to get married and be with each other. I'm not going to I'm not gonna tell my children that being with somebody is gonna be always pieces of cream. It's always gonna be all sweet cotton candy and this, and this. Yes, they're pretty young to teach them this stuff, but at least they have a lesson, a crash course, or a briefing on what happens and what life is like in a relationship standpoint. It's not just about getting a job. It's not about taking care of responsibility. It's not just about surviving. Love is a part of life. Relationships and marriage is a part of life. Why not teach our kids that? Why? We teach them everything. We teach them about history. We teach them about, math and everything in the world. But we just don't teach our kids about relationships, about love and a marriage. We don't teach them that. I haven't seen anyone do that. I tell my son, I tell him that I want you, before you get a girlfriend, before you get serious with something, and he's 16, I tell him to live first. And he knows exactly what I mean by that. I tell him to get everything he's supposed to get out. He can do it. If he want to go travel the world, if he want to go do whatever he want to do in this world, do it. And then, get with somebody or whatever. You guys get married and y'all both can travel together then. At least you could say, you know what, I went to Spain. Let's go to Spain, babe. Let's take the kids to Spain. Let's do this. You feel me? It's like you can take them to you could share your world. You can take them to the places that you went. You feel me? I never want my son to feel like, all right, like I did when I was young. When I was 16, having my child, having him. So having him, I felt really pressured. I felt like, hey man, I didn't have no choice. I had to stay in the same state. I had to go to work. I had to do a lot of things that I didn't want to do at that age. That's why I be telling my son, live your life, son. Live before you love. Live before you go out there and load. You know what I'm saying? Live before you have kids. Go do that. Then you can go ahead. You have a testimony to tell your wife and tell your kids, yo, I want to hear this there, and we're going to go too. Let's go. You feel me? Like, you supposed to follow that lead. You supposed to not follow that lead. You supposed to, they supposed to follow your lead, and you supposed to be the leader and the person that drop the knowledge and the wisdom on your kids and your wife. If your wife is not learning from you and your kids is not learning from you, then you're not doing what you're supposed to do as a man, because your wife does follow your lead, your kids does follow your lead, and they understand how strong of a man you are, how wise of a man you are. You should be reading, you should be doing new things, you should be doing a lot of things that help make the situation for your kids, the lifestyle of your kids and everything else better. You should be leveling up with your kids and your wife all the damn time. That's why I respect marriages so much. I think it's so cute. I think it's just the best thing ever, being married. You know what I'm saying? But marrying the right woman, marrying the right man is very challenging. You just want to make sure you got the right pick. Yeah, some people say, well, you know when you know, but you know what? It's so much stuff out here in this world. You never know. You don't know if you're going to be with somebody and they just, it's just terrible. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you don't want to live in fear, but you want to live in caution also. You want to be cautious. You know what I mean? Like, you don't want, like, time is one of the things that you do not want to waste, and you just sit there and just like, it's simpler when you just boyfriend and girlfriend. You just kind of could just dip off and y'all just be like, you know what? I'm going to break off for this. We're good. No hard feelings, but I really think we should move on. Okay. But when you marry, it's a whole different setup. It's different. And you have to be sure who you're dealing with. You have to be sure who you love and understand where they're coming from, how to deal with that person, You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta understand who you with. If they don't understand you and they don't know how to handle you, then that's not the person for you. Understand? Like, so they have to be willing to be like, you know what, this is the type of man is like this, and if that's what they willing to work with, then that's okay. If he's the type of man that that is not for the disrespect, then don't ever disrespect the man. Don't, you know what I mean? If she's not the type of person that doesn't, you know, that if she's the type of person that always needs words of validation, like, oh baby, you beautiful, and you gotta tell her beautiful every day, and you willing to you know, accept that, then okay. But if you're not, like, I don't feel like telling you you beautiful every day. Might sound kind of crazy, but some dudes don't feel like I should have to do this every day. You know what I mean? Like, listening to it, some people be like, man, that's not ugly. Damn, you don't want to tell your wife or your man they look good every day? No, it's not about doing it every day. It's about making it a job. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like to say, oh, you look good out of the blue. I don't say it every day. It's just because it has more potency and it's just real and it's genuine when it's you know, coming from me out of the blue. You know what I'm saying? You didn't ask for it. You feel me? So there's a lot of things in this episode that I'm covering. I'm going here, I'm going there, but I think that it all ties into why these relationships are not lasting as long as they used to, and you know, and just really surviving this oversex society, because every time you turn, there's somebody trying to take your nigga. It's always somebody trying to take your woman. It's always somebody trying to, you know, fuck. You feel me? It's no value and there's no laws here. It's just, you know, it's reckless out here. And the second you step outside, that's when you're in the reckless. And when I mean outside, I'm talking about logging on Facebook, logging on Twitter, logging on Instagram. You know, it's just crazy. You know, when you step outside, like going to work or anything like that. So when you at home, you good, you safe, you pretty much safe. You home. It's a lot to it, you know. But I'm gonna wrap this up.